data is so important in large part because we're constantly competing against a personal story. There's individual stories that our council hears, and that has a tremendous amount of impact. And so, how do you use the data that we gather to ultimately to make the case for that particular story, or to disprove that story if necessary as well, and recognizing that that basically we have to use the data that we have to the data in the summary of multiple media modalities allows for a much broader perspective, and so we use Zencity on a daily basis to basically get a barometer of what the public view and support of particular issues. Our city council, for an example, considered very early on a mask mandate ordinance, and back in April, and you can see at that time, it was largely negative. There was very little support for the mask ordinance, even though it was being done in other parts of the country. Our community was not there yet. And so what we ultimately had to do is that we had to help to create the discourse to get the public on board with why the mask ordinance was necessary. And so if you want an effective communication strategy, you've got to build some of your own discourse. And you can see by July, when the city ultimately did adopt the mask ordinance, there was far more support for it than there was in April. And so it goes to not only do you have to use the data, but then how do you use that data to ultimately cultivate and drive the data a little bit more to showing that the perspective that you want.